This is apropos. The most widely used COVID vaccines may offer an unexpected benefit for some cancer patients, boosting their immune systems to help fight tumours. Preliminary research published in the journal Nature suggests that people with advanced lung or skin cancer who were taking certain immunotherapy drugs lived substantially longer if they'd received a Pfizer or Moderna shot within 100 days of starting their treatment. With the details, here's Monty Francis.
During the pandemic, they were credited with saving millions of lives. Now, researchers say they found that mRNA COVID vaccines had an additional surprise benefit for some cancer patients.
What we found is that COVID mRNA vaccines act like a siren to activate the immune system throughout the body.
The study involved 1,000 patients at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Texas with advanced lung cancer or melanoma who were within 100 days of receiving approved immunotherapy drugs. Lung cancer patients who received a Pfizer or Moderna mRNA COVID vaccine survived for about 37 months, or almost twice as long as those who didn't receive the shot. Researchers say it appears the vaccine helps supercharge the patient's immune systems to fight against their cancerous tumors.
The COVID mRNA vaccine can reprogram immune systems to kill cancer in a way that allows immune therapy to work more effectively.
The study also found that those who didn't respond well to immunotherapy had a 5-fold improvement in overall survival. The findings are raising hope for a day when vaccines will be used to treat a range of cancers, but come at a difficult time for research into mRNA vaccines. Back in August, the U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced the American government was canceling $500 million in mRNA development, claiming, contrary to the scientific findings, that they failed to protect against respiratory infections like COVID and the flu. The findings related to cancer are preliminary, and researchers are already planning a phase 3 clinical trial and hope to start enrolling patients by the end of the year.
Well, for more, we're joined now by one of the researchers working on these next revolution treatments, Christiano Marconi, a PhD candidate in immunotherapy at the University of Florida. Thanks so much for being with us on the programme this evening, Christiano. So just tell us, how exactly does this work? Are these vaccines essentially reprogramming the immune system?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. Yes, in a way it is. If anything else, for a short term. But when you have cancer, what it really does is it puts your body on alarm. And when your body goes on alarm, it looks for a threat. And what it finds is that cancer appears to it as a threat. And this is just what you need to break through. When you have cancer, it tends to trick your immune system to make it think that it's not a threat. But when you get the vaccine, and then alerts it that there is something actually there.
And how exactly then does the molecule that powers these vaccines actually help the immune system to respond better to treatment? And maybe just tell us a little bit about what exactly messenger RNA actually is. It's something that's found in all of our cells.
Yes. So it's something that, exactly what you said, it's found in all of our cells. So we all have a genetic sequence. We all know about DNA. But DNA is really just the master code of the cell. It doesn't really make anything itself. It's like the library. RNA is basically just a copy. So you take a book out of that library, and then from that RNA, you then make proteins, which do all of the stuff of the cell. So basically, the protein is when you read off of that page, you transfer the knowledge. So that's really what RNA is. It's that intermediate step. It takes it from the library and brings it to where it can be used.
And how exactly did you and your fellow researchers make this particular discovery?
So our lab has been studying mRNA vaccines for a while, even prior to the pandemic. But really what it started with, actually, so earlier this year, we published another paper showing that non-specific vaccines that we discovered when we were looking at making cancer vaccines can actually sensitize some tumors to immune checkpoint inhibitors, one of the immunotherapies that we're studying in the paper. So that's really what led to this discovery, where we asked, okay, so these vaccines that we designed for cancer work, what about the commercially available COVID vaccines?
And how much of a game changer do you believe this is for cancer patients?
I believe this has the potential to be a really big game changer because you could potentially have a therapy that is available on the shelf that can be administered to any patient that gets diagnosed with cancer. So we still want to run a phase 3 clinical trial to really confirm these results because the implication is massive. But it gives us the power to give an immediate boost to an already effective treatment that could cure a lot of patients.
And does your research suggest that this would only work on patients who are in the more advanced stages of the illness, or is it something that potentially could help all cancer patients?
Um, so it could potentially help any cancer patients that would be eligible to receive immune checkpoint inhibitors. Generally, when it comes to cancer, surgery is still the best option. If you can cut out the cancer, that is the best option. But unfortunately, sometimes you don't get all of the cancer. Sometimes it progresses. And based on what the clinician recommends, if you could get immune checkpoint inhibitors, the vaccine could potentially improve that. Again, we need to confirm it in a clinical trial, but this is what the findings have led us to believe right now.
And a little more broadly, perhaps, how has immunotherapy more generally helped to revolutionize cancer treatment, particularly for those who might have been considered incurable?
It's been massive for the field. So immunotherapy is one of the few therapies that can truly cure a patient. Um, it does have the limitation where some patients just will not respond at all. And we don't always know why that is, but the patients that do respond can completely benefit from it and can actually cure their disease. Whereas before you were just hoping to extend their survival. So that's really the power of immunotherapy, is that you can really wipe out the disease.
And are you concerned at all about, vaccines? They're a bit of a hot topic, particularly in the US at the moment. The health secretary, the kind of cuts to funding also, this is coming at a very
Yes.
particular moment, isn't it, in the United States?
Mhm. It is. So I'm a PhD student, and we are definitely we've had this fear and concern about losing funding. Nothing has happened yet. It's all blown over so far, and we're very grateful. And this is in our line of work. We are studying cancer, which I really hope that at least the funding agencies can see that this is a very serious disease. We need to have all the tools available to us to treat them. We can't hold back. We can't be afraid. We need to throw everything we can because cancer will kill you if you do not treat it.
And do you think that discoveries like this, and people hearing more about what vaccines can actually do, that will also help to fight that kind of skepticism within a certain audience in the United States?
It may. I hope that we could at least build a little bit more trust. But again, we're really studying this in patients that really don't have much of a resort. So I don't really know that this applies to a lot of the general population. I would really hope that this could, change the perspective, but I really don't know. I hope so, but
And
yeah.
this kind of therapy, this immunotherapy, the research that you're working on, could it be modified to help fight other diseases, or is this something very specific to cancer?
Our lab has done a little bit of work looking at autoimmune diseases, which is actually interesting because the complete other side of the spectrum, where you want to deactivate the immune system. And we think that if you deliver it in a way, a specific way, it can actually cause tolerance. This is still very preliminary work. We're still working on it, but there is a potential that we could deliver it in this manner as well.
And when you speak about further clinical trials, what exactly will be involved there?
Clinical trials for using the COVID vaccine with immune checkpoint inhibitors. This would be a multi-institutional phase 3 clinical trial for non-small cell lung cancer, stage 4, I believe. This will be predominantly ran by our collaborators at MD Anderson and then my mentor, Elias Sayer. But yeah, what this will be is a fully randomized clinical trial where we can really get a very solid answer on whether or not these are truly boosting the effect of immunotherapy. Right now, all of our data is retrospective, which is great. Like we've seen a great trend, but there's always limitations to this and there's no way around them. So really, this is the only way to move forward.
And if you can move forward and if these trials go well, how soon do you think patients could actually have access to this kind of treatment?
I mean, so receiving immunotherapy is completely based on what your clinician recommends. If you're a cancer patient, you have people, they recommend certain types of treatment, the ones that they think you will best respond to. And the COVID vaccine is commercially available. You can go to any pharmacy and get it. So yeah, we could develop this platform further and make it more effective. But as of right now, this is completely up to the patient. If they want to give it a shot, they can give it a shot.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Christiano, for being with us on the program this evening and for explaining all of that to us. That is Christiano Marconi, a researcher at the University of Florida. Thanks so much. Well, that's it from us.